Hello again, this is Pedro with NuKeys Locksmith. While programming a new key on a 2022 Nissan Altima, I made a mistake which I will share with you today, so stay tuned. After connecting the equipment and turning on the ignition, simply follow the steps on the display of your programmer, like turning on the hazard light, opening and closing the driver's side door, and turning on the ignition, which I have already done. After selecting the EMO status scan, notice the number of keys programmed to this vehicle. In this case, there are 2 keys already programmed. There is one fault associated with the BCM, so let's take a look at it before selecting the quick TDC erase button. Once the error is erased, select Add a Key. This function will erase all learned keys, and a max of 4 keys can be learned to this vehicle. Verify the hazard lights are on, opening and closing the door once, and the ignition is on. Notice the warning for models between 2010 and 2017. Go ahead, select yes. Place the original key against the ignition switch and hit OK. Here is where I made the mistake. Notice it says to press the switch once and place the smart key against the ignition switch within 5 seconds. My mistake was that I pressed and held it for 5 seconds instead of just pressing it and releasing it. And notice how the security light did not light up. The programmer allowed me to continue without any warnings. I then repeated the same process with the new key, and the security light did not flash. After pressing OK, the next step was to turn off the ignition. And since there were no additional keys to be learned, I selected no. Press the start button with the first key and the display will automatically light up. All you need to do is hold the key in place until the display lights up. You will then need to turn off the ignition and wait 3 seconds before pressing OK. When I tested both keys, none of the buttons worked and the car did not turn on. I tried multiple times with no positive results and pressed OK to continue. I repeated the steps for the smart key learning by pressing the start button. The warning is there again that this function will erase all learned keys, and also it points out the maximum number of keys that can be learned to this particular model. Again, verify the hazard light is on and open and close the driver's side door. And notice the warning again about the particular models between 2010 and 2017. Place the original key against the ignition switch and then press OK. Do not press the ignition switch, simply place the original key against the switch. But this time I completed the steps by following the instructions as written. And this time the security light flashed, as you see here in slow motion. The next step is to press OK, and after that you will need to turn off the ignition. And this time I repeated the steps with the new key by pressing the switch once and placing the smart key against the ignition switch within the 5 seconds. And notice how the security light now lights up as well. After pressing OK, go ahead and turn off the ignition. There are no additional keys to be learned, so we're going to select No. Press the start button with the first key and the display will automatically light up. After pressing OK, you will need to turn off the ignition and wait 3 seconds. Programming is now complete. Verify the remote control is operating properly, and also always remember to start up the engine after checking the remote control. Press the buttons on the new key and verify that it can lock and unlock the doors. And remember to do the same for the original key, since both were just learned to the vehicle. After removing one of the keys from the vehicle, make sure that the engine starts up. Do the same with the second key and start up the engine. This was Pedro from NuKeys. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and thank you for watching.